Welcome to another episode of the Tobago House of Assembly's Post-Executive Council Media Briefing. This week, the Secretary of Food Production, Forestry and Fisheries, Hayden Spencer, addresses the media.
First, I want to start off with, let me say thanks to the Agriculture Development Bank and their Business Development Unit that we were able to successfully run a 3-day program in Tobago. The Agriculture Development business team would have met with at least 80 persons, a compilation of Tobago agriculture stakeholders at the Blemming Conference Center. Some of these stakeholders included the recent graduates of the Youth Apprenticeship Program in Agriculture, extension officers of the Division of Food Production, Forestry and Fisheries, farmers, fishermen, and other agricultural stakeholders. The ADB team would have presented and explained the various loan packages available to Tobago farmers, which included a new vehicle package loan, 100% financing, the new youth loan. This is for young people now starting off in agriculture, and I must indicate that Tobago is the first area that the Agriculture Development Bank would have rolled out this program in Trinidad and Tobago. So our young people of Tobago are blessed with such facilitation. A new fishing package loan for Tobago in areas such as purchasing of vessels and equipment and so on for the fishery industry. A new fishing package loan would have been introduced by the ADB. New on is a disaster relief loan. In the past, farmers would have been faced with disaster and more depend primarily on a grant from the Tobago House of Assembly. You can now go to the ADB and go through the process of obtaining a disaster relief loan. And other loan facilities also were explained, offered by the ADB. We took that opportunity also where the ADB would have met with the administration of the Division of Food Production, Forestry and Fisheries, where we would have established an MOU with both the ADB Bank and the division. So this meeting would have facilitated the setting up of a committee of members of the Division of Food Production, Forestry and Fisheries and the ADB Bank as to drive this program in financing our stakeholders. The ADB also would have indicated their interest in facilitating farmers in a financial arrangement who are interested in conducting surveys on their lands. The ADB indicates that they will run such a program here in Tobago. I will now move on to where, we are well aware, I'm just going to update that the Division of Food Production, Forestry and Fisheries continue to collaborate with CPEP of the Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development and Labor, and URP in the Division of Infrastructure and Quarries and the Environment. We will continue that collaboration based on our training program. A meeting was held last week, Monday, the 16th of June, with the key players of the program. A technical committee would have been constituted, and spearheaded by the technical officer of the Division of Food Production, Forestry and Fisheries, to also guide the unemployment relief program in their plant production and the agricultural activities. We continue to assist them in the areas of, like I said, training generally, but in the areas of crop production, livestock, agro-processing, and value chain development. So far, the division would have issued to the unemployment relief program 1,000 cassava sticks, which they would have planted. So we are guiding them in areas of crop selection for both short-term, medium-term, and long-term production. Site selection for the agricultural activities. Training in production practices and marketing information. We continue to generally support the farmers and fisher folk of the agriculture industry by technical advice in services and areas such as crop, livestock production, including the apiculture. This service is provided by the Extension and Food Crop Production Unit, which the unit would have reported an increase, and the data will be provided sometime later on, increase in small ruminant production in Tobago in the area of goat, sheep, rabbit, interest in poultry production, in boilers and layers also. In the area of we would have started the cassava development industry in collaboration with CDB and FAO. So a market assessment and technology validation, development, and dissemination program. 6 improved varieties of cassava will be multiplied at the lowest door propagation station to be evaluated on farmers' field and on station. Attempt to introduce new varieties into the production system. The Food and Agriculture Organization also provided 2 pieces of equipment for trials, the cassava planter and the cassava harvester. These equipment are now stored at the lowest door demonstration station. Through this project, training will be provided to farmers and extension officers in cassava productions, and this program will run from 2018 right on into 2019. Now, I move on to the other area that Tobago is more interested in at this time, and that is the temporary Scarborough market. The division would have successfully moved over 150 vendors of the Scarborough market to the newly constructed temporary facility to facilitate the rehabilitation of the Scarborough market. We would have done that relocation in May, and May 15 it was, and we officially commissioned and blessed that facility on Thursday, July 5th at 3 p.m. At that blessing and commission of the facility, yours truly, the secretary, would have indicated to the vendors there that there is awareness of the challenges that are now faced at the temporary facility by the vendors. I would have indicated to the vendors then, and I'm reiterating it now, that we would have already started the procurement process to do to cover the containers, for we recognize that in heavy rain time it's difficult for shoppers and even the vendors to operate through the containers to do their purchasing and so on. So that process is being undertaken as we speak, and we are at the stage where drawings are being prepared to carry out that work. Now we know that, as I explained to the vendors, that they are already at the location, and therefore it will be difficult to give a time span on the completion of the project, because that project will have to be executed in the night when the market is closed, and I think the other day the market is not open, is on a Sunday. Hence the reason we go the way of a contractor, so that the contractor can be flexible in working during the night and on weekends to bring this project to fusion. We are treating it with a level of urgency because we are already in the rainy season. So it is my information that this will be constructed with steel H-beam, which will be prefabricated and then installed, completed with guttering to be connected to the existing draining system, and will provide complete covering for that area with the containers. We also would have looked at the area where, if you look on the southwestern side of that main vending area that runs parallel with the Shopper Cultural Complex, we observed, because I was there personally on a Saturday, I went personally when it rained heavily to see what sort of effect the rain had on the facility. And it was also the observation of the project manager, in the vendors and myself, that when the rain comes with wind, it blows into the facility. So we would have looked at all the options, and a decision was made to use a retractable, weather-resistant canvas to deal with that situation. Because what you don't want to do, you don't want to close off the market permanently, because inside it will be heated. So if it doesn't rain, it will be retracted. When the rain comes, it's let down, so that that will prevent the rain from blowing in. Now, I want to make this absolutely clear to all of Tobago, because I would have read on the newspaper that one Mr. Lachman Singh indicated that the division would have promised to provide free transportation from Scarborough to the temporary market. I want to make it clear that I would have chaired that meeting as the secretary with the committee of the Division of Food Production, Forestry and Fisheries, and the interim committee, of which Mr. Lachman Singh is a part of, when that issue was raised. And I said to Mr. Lachman Singh then, and the committee, that the division will undertake no such task. The mere fact is that a market is supposed to be a hub, so you make room for other businesses. For example, if we are to provide free shuttle transport from Scarborough to Shaw Park, what becomes of the taxi drivers? What becomes of the maxi taxi drivers? What becomes of the PH drivers? The THA will be depriving them from making an honest living. Okay? So I indicated that then, that no such thing is going to happen, and I am saying it now, that the division never made that promise, and we will not be providing shuttle transportation for persons wishing to go to the market and shop. However, I can indicate to you that several requests were made for taxi and bus services to operate from the compound. The committee is presently reviewing those applications. We can give way to that. So the other aspect of complaint that came to my attention also is the fact, and that's generally the business of market dealing with the type of produce agriculture produce. Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday are usually, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are usually slow market days. The market days pick up Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Tobago does not really have a vibrant Sunday market, but you will see that in Trinidad has a vibrant Sunday market effect. So the vendors are sort of complaining about the slow rate of business on those days. We have to understand, which is something that I would have explained to them before, that the way in which Scarborough is situated, the market in Scarborough, you would have benefited Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from the foot traffic in Scarborough for sales. But at Shaw Park, there's no foot traffic there. One has to actually want something from the market to travel to the market to purchase. Also, I want Tobago to bear in mind that if you look at the situation with at the present market site in Scarborough, that building is unsafe for human beings to be there, and it's unhealthy to sell food there. So therefore, the question of repairs to that facility is a must. And therefore, while I will empathize with the vendors and sympathize with them, I also have to remind all of Tobago that it's not like they're going to be there forever. It's not like the market is relocated permanently. It is relocated temporarily for the work to be carried out on the old market. So I'm asking Tobago, the shoppers who would have preferred to shop in Scarborough, the vendors who would have preferred to be in Scarborough, and I'm just asking you to be patient with the division, patient with the Tobago House of Assembly. Development, there's always a sacrifice to be made for development.
I would just like an update on the agriculture revitalization plan. What stage is it at right now?
The agriculture revitalization plan, it was remiss of me to mention that this whole collaborated effort with the ADB and all that is all part of the agriculture revitalization program. So where we are at with the agriculture revitalization program and the plan, remember the agriculture revitalization team would have done its part, and that was completed in December of this year. Not December of 2017. Right? So the agriculture revitalization team. And a oversight committee was formed, spearheaded by the Honorable Chief Secretary. So far, we would have had 2 such meetings, and very soon a meeting will be scheduled to be held again. And this is where we are. We are tweaking with that document. While we are tweaking with it before we make it public, we are also executing some of the programs that form part of the agriculture revitalization plan. For example, what I just indicated to you about the collaboration with the Agriculture Development Bank, all that is part of the agriculture revitalization plan, the program, collaboration with CPEP and URP, getting them more involved in agriculture and training them in agriculture. All these are extracts from the plan. So the plan will be completed and will be made public. But we just have to wait on the committee, the agriculture, the oversight committee. When everyone is comfortable that we are ready to make this public, then it will be made public. So that's where we are with the entire agriculture revitalization plan.
Okay, I would also like to know, I know that the division has been working directly with farmers in Tobago to increase production. Since the plan was first introduced, what production has been increased since then?
Well, as I indicated earlier, we would have seen increase in small ruminants production in the area of sheep, goat, rabbits. We would have seen increase in pig production. We would have seen farmers in the production of goat and moving over to increase the stock in doing goat milk, with a view of processing goat milk into making things like yogurt and goat cheese and that kind of stuff. We have seen increase in those areas. We would have also seen increase in productivity on the holdings in areas of roots and tubers, cassava, sweet potatoes, plantains, bananas, right? Farmers in Tobago used to more focus on crops like tomatoes, sweet peppers, corn, and these kind of things. But as the call was made by the Honorable Chief Secretary, who has the responsibility for education, to change the school feeding program and have more local input, the farmers would have responded to this call, and you're seeing that a number of farmers are actually getting into producing more of what we call these local staples, which are more healthy for our young people. So we would not be able at this time to give you an actual data in percentage, because we are now in the process of capturing such data. Right? So we want to capture that new data, compare it with the old data that we would have, whatever old data that would have been there in the division. And so sometime later on this year, I will be happy to bring that data and present it to all of Trinidad and Tobago. But we are working on it, and we are seeing the improvements. All right, we are seeing improvements. Also, we measure that level of improvement for a number of homeowners that are requesting more citrus and these ornamental plants. We have seen increase in numbers in our home gardening initiative. Yes, so these numbers are saying something to us, and we want to get the right information, the right data, capture it, analyze it, and then put it forward to the public. So we can safely say that there's increase in the agriculture sector presently right now.
Good afternoon, Secretary.
Good afternoon, sir.
I know you said that the work on the old market is going to begin, and I saw that they started breaking down the fringe structures around the main structure. But when is it going to begin in earnest?
Well, okay, if I should I would not be able to give you that information presently now, to the mere fact that in my conversation with the new manager of the court, Ms. Lois Leslie, she indicated to me that activities will start there within 2 weeks. So already the activities would have started. Now, I don't know how the EDCOT and the contractor, how they are going to approach doing their job.
My question is based on the preparation of the farmers and the agro processors for the arrival of sandals in Tobago. In terms of getting them organized and ready to provide food and crops to sandals. Could you tell us where we are right now?
Well, basically, we are well ahead with that in a real sense. And Tobago is divided into 8 farming districts. And every farming district has what you call a farmers association. And then you have the governing body called the Agriculture Society, right? So what we would have started, like I indicated there, we would have started offering a number of training programs. All these training programs are geared to bring our farmers up to speed with the HACCP standards, good agricultural practices, the agro-processing practices, so that by the time sandals get here, they are already in that state of readiness. Now, I don't know how sandals are going to do their business as it relates to the farmers, but our task and upgrading the farmers in also using modern technologies to maximize the use of their space. Because you see, what we don't have in Tobago, we don't have mega farms. We do not even have medium-sized farms. What we have in Tobago is small farmers. Even if a farmer is on 5 acres of land, that is a small farm. So how do you maximize that small farm for sustainability and continued production? Right? So you have like for example, well, in Tobago we can't say greenhouse because you don't need an entire greenhouse, but you can use like a shade house system. One of the areas that we are working on also in the division to ensure that farmers can produce year-round, because in some areas now farmers can only produce during the rainy season because there's no irrigation system. So we would have embarked on a project. That this project is now in the hands of our project manager, Idicott. For example, we are starting in the Gojbo area, which already has a sort of semi-irrigation system there, and we're going to improve on that irrigation system so that the farmers in the Gojbo area can have access to irrigation so that they can farm year-round. The other area that we are looking at, which we want to, because this, the Gojbo area, we want to do that in fiscal 2018. In fiscal 2019, we want to go to the north side and treat with Indian Walk, who also has, that area also has a semi-irrigation system put in place but not functioning. Right? So we are engaging EIDCOT or UDCOT to project manage these projects. And while they are project managing these projects now, the whole idea is to go into the farming areas, for example, like Richmond, where you have a lot of farmers in these areas, Mason Hall, where you have a lot of farmers, and let them do a survey and analysis to see if we can develop wells in these areas. Because we know what the challenge is water. And when it is dry season, water is for domestic use, right? So we are trying to provide farmers now with even a much better water because it's chlorine-free, and that's the best water to do farming with, chlorine-free water, right? So we are trying to develop some well systems wherever it's possible throughout the island so that farmers can farm all year round. So basically everything is in place for that development, right? So it is the farmers, and so far they are responding because we are actually going out to the communities and do community training instead of just saying we offer in this training program in Kendall Farm School. Everyone might not be able to make it to Kendall Farm School, so we are now going out to the communities and offering these training programs in community centers and so on for the farmers. So we are well on the way to bringing our farmers up to speed for the eventuality of Sanders coming to Tobago. I think the farmers of Tobago should capitalize on the opportunity to put themselves in readiness so that they won't get left behind.
Thank you for staying with us for the Tobago House of Assembly's Post-Executive Council Media Briefing for the week ending July 21st, 2018.